Hey there, welcome to Live by Design, a place where I hope you'll find content that is informative, inspiring, and insightful. I'm your host, Mwadi Debinga. I'm a life coach and a motivational speaker, and today is Monday, January 14th, 2019. In addition to this being the first day of the week, it is also my mother's birthday. Dr. Ngolela Wakabongo turns 77 today, and I'm fortunate that I was able to wake up in her house, in her space this morning and wish her a happy birthday. To say that I'm grateful that she was chosen to be my mother is an understatement for the ages. I'm just overwhelmed with gratitude for the woman that she is and what she's taught me about life and all that she's done for me and continues to do for me. So happy birthday, Mommy. Just wanted to say that quickly. This is a quick sort of shout out. I have a lot of different social media platforms. I have my Instagram and Facebook, and I tend to go on those daily to try to give daily motivations, just sort of share thoughts and observations. And then I come into this space when I have something a little bit more deep or maybe a little bit, want to talk a little bit longer and I can't get everything out in 1 minute. So I did have a conversation, and I've been having conversations with women a lot these last couple of weeks. I coach a program called Upgrade Your Life. It's closed now. I can't take on any more people. It's a year-long program. I shut the doors on it. And so I work with these women. We work with each other. They support me as well for about 12 months. And so I've been doing a lot of talking lately about relationships and some of the challenges that we all experience in relationships. And I got up this morning, and usually I have a whole production around my Live by Design. I'm going through some rebranding and reproduction stuff for it, so it'll look a little different as the weeks go by. But I didn't want to wait any longer, and I felt the need to really talk about this particular issue now because it seems like it's so prevalent. There's an idea in the law of attraction, and we talk about the law of attraction a lot these days. It's gotten into the culture so much that it's almost become a cliche. There was a movie out a couple of years ago, maybe a decade ago, maybe more, called The Secret, where some different thought leaders, including Michael Bernard Beckwith, who I respect so much, talked a little bit about the law of attraction and how we can set intention and use our energy and our focus to bring things into our lives, to bring experiences into our lives. What got lost in The Secret, and I think Dr. Beckwith talked about this, outside of the movie years later, was that we forgot to mention a couple of things. One is that the law of attraction, it is serious, it's very true, it's a natural law, but you got to work too. You can't just sit around and cross your fingers and do like I Dream of Jeannie and blink your eyes and just focus on something and it's going to happen, it's going to happen, it's going to happen. You actually have to do work to bring things into your life. And some of that work includes telling yourself the truth about what is. And sometimes when I hear people talking about the law of attraction, they totally take themselves out of the equation. And when I say take themselves out of the equation, what I mean by that is that they forget that they're the main thing that needs to be focused on, that needs to be transformed, that needs to be healed in order for you to be able to receive the things that you say that you want. You first have to see yourself as being worthy and being valuable enough to experience those things. You have to be willing to do the work to transform your thinking, to transform your behavior so that you can attract and keep those things. And quite frankly, you have to be willing to tell yourself the truth about what's really happening in your life and how you're responsible for those things in order for you to bring about a transformation. Case in point, oftentimes in relationships, I'll hear people, women and men, complain that they keep attracting the same kind of person, the same person that is not appropriate for them or is emotionally unavailable. You can go down the laundry list of things and ways that these people are not matched principally, or they're not in alignment with what they want. And they get frustrated. How come I keep attracting the same person? The law of attraction will, first of all, tell you to watch what you say. If you say, how come I keep attracting so-and-so or this kind of person, you will keep doing that because the universe doesn't work in negatives. It will keep bringing to you what you think that you deserve. So when you say, why do I keep attracting, then you will continue to see attract, right? A way to turn that question around would be, what can I do to change the kind of people that I'm attracting? And that's a more empowering question because it puts you in the driver's seat and allows you to have the opportunity to do the work to bring about the change in your life and your relationships. The challenge, though, is that we don't want to be honest when we're thinking about law of attraction, particularly when we're thinking about relationships. We're not often honest about the fact that all of our relationships are direct reflections on how we see ourselves, what we think about ourselves, what we believe to be true about ourselves. So if you're continuously attracting trash, and I know that's not a spiritual way to frame it, but I'm trying to be really clear here. If you are consistently attracting trash, that's because there's a part of you that believes that you are trash. If you are consistently attracting people who treat you poorly, there's a part of you, a big part of you, that believes that that's how you deserve to be treated. And so when we think about this idea about the law of attraction, when we think about how do we bring about better things, better people, better experiences into our life, the first thing that you have to do is twofold. One, be willing to be honest about the role that you are playing in creating these circumstances, in attracting these people, and attracting these knuckleheads, clowns, and fools. I'm trying to be really direct here into your life. You got to be clear about what you're doing, how you see yourself, how your consciousness, how your energy is attracting those things and those people, and you've got to be willing to do the work to bring about the change. And that's where we get stuck. I just did a post on Instagram when I asked the question, are you willing to do what you need to do to have the things that you say that you want? Are you willing to do what you must do to have the thing that you want? And when it comes to relationships, this is where we really just don't want to do the work. It's one of the places where I find people to be the most resistant, particularly in romantic relationships, but also in friendships and just, family relationships. We're not willing to tell the truth about the role that we played in creating or continuing a dynamic. Because oftentimes how people treat us, most times, it's a direct reflection on how we see and think about ourselves. So if you really, really want to bring about a transformation in your relationship, in your life partners, in your romantic relationships, in your friendships, you've got to be willing to look at yourself and ask yourself, am I seeing myself in a way that's loving and kind, or do I see myself as being undeserving? Do I see myself as being less than? Do I see myself as being somebody who just is not worth the time, the effort, the attention of a good relationship? That was my challenge for many, many, many years before I started doing my own work. I had to really do a lot of work to be able to now be at the point where I can pick up a mirror and be happy and proud of what I see, even when I'm not dressed up and my hair's not done, right? It takes a lot of work. It's painful. Telling the truth to yourself about where you need healing is painful. Sometimes you need to get outside help to do that, a life coach, a therapist, whatever, your spiritual teacher. But you're not going to be able to attract a higher quality of person into your life, of people into your life, until you are willing and able and begin to do the work to become that person. You must become what you want to attract. So if you want to attract kind, loving people who will treat you kindly, you've got to be kind and loving to yourself. And you've got to see yourself as being worthy. And the next step then is to create standards, not preferences, but standards of how people have to treat you in order for them to be allowed in your life. I'm calling it the C-suite principle, right? The C-suite, the top level. I've been talking about this a lot in my coaching program. I talk about this a lot with my friends, with my family. It's all about the C-suite. So if you want to attract people who are worthy of being in the C-suite, you've got to be worthy. You've got to get yourself together. And you've got to do the work so that you can start to see yourself for the divine, beautiful person that you are. And if you've gone through experiences that have gotten you to the point where you forgot who you are, then get some help. Clean it up. Because once you clean up your vision, once you start to see yourself correctly, once you start to see the true value of who you are, you will not only attract people who see you that way and want to treat you that way, but the people who don't want to see you that way or don't have the capacity to see you that way, they won't be bothered with you. And the one or two who try to step to you will be so overwhelmed by what they see that they'll bounce on their own. You won't even have to say anything because they will know that you're operating at a vibration that's just too high for them right now. And maybe they'll go get themselves together and come back, or maybe they won't. But in the meantime, you're still in the C-suite with a nice view, eating good food, taking care of yourself, right? So again, this is a really quick message. It wasn't quick enough for Instagram, But I'm doing some work here in this platform. I'm going to be upgrading some things here at this channel. But in the meantime, I just really wanted to challenge you. Look at yourself with clean, fresh, loving eyes, and do the work that you need to do to heal how you see yourself. Because once you get that together, and once you clean that up, and once you see yourself with real as the valuable person that you are, you will start to attract new kinds of people into your life. But if you think that you're trash, you're going to attract trash. So if there's a part of you who thinks that you're not good enough, not worthy enough, not smart enough, do the work to clean it up and your life will change. And if I can help you do that in any way, email me. My information's down here. Reach out to me and we'll figure out a way to get it together, okay? That's it. That's my message. Short, sweet, hopefully impactful. That's it. So I'm going to see you next week. I told you I'm going to try to be here every week. I missed you last week, but I'm here now. So I'm going to see you next week. In the meantime, take care of yourself and the people that you love, and have a great week. Bye.